ولي على قدم وإن على قدم النبي بدر الكمال على قدم النبي بدر الكمال بلغ العلا لكماله زين الهدى لإضافه كشف الدجى بجماله حسنت جميع خصاله صلوا عليه وآله. Jamal, I greet you all, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, with the best of greetings, with the peace and blessings of Allah, the God of the world, the beneficent, the merciful, be on all of us. Amen. Listen. The topic for our lecture today, as we have seen it, as we were given, is zina and how it is affecting our society today. Zina comprises of so many things. It's a very intertwining topic. It comprises of defilement of young persons. It's comprised of fornication, adultery, you see, homosexuality. All these things, they are part of zina. And it is a big issue in society today. We will go from the ambit of the common English law and Islamic law, because there are things that we need to expose to each other and expose to the world as scholars. Let's take it from the coming of English law into Nigeria. When the colonial masters, when they brought the laws into our country, they first of all destroyed our own kinship system. We have the Oba, the chiefs, Ijoye. The chiefs in the north, there was the Oba, the Emir established Islamic law, established emirates, but the English colonial masters, they were not satisfied with that. They want their laws to be supreme. One of the problems that started with Nigeria was the interference of the colonial masters. How? Although they had some good laws, but they had mostly bad laws. And one of the bad laws that they put to us is the law of penalty of adultery, fornication, and homosexuality. They are trying to remove everything penalty. In the north, because Islamic law was being used, they prohibited zina, and anybody who commits it or with any other person's wife through adultery, the person will follow Islamic law. They brought the Criminal Procedure Act into Nigeria, and they used it for both the north and the south. But because the northern people are already happy with the Islamic law they were using, they started to protest against it, because at that point, when zina became legalized, anybody can fornicate. They noticed that many of their wives and another men, they are making away with their wives. Their children are being influenced. Marriages are not going how they used to be in society. Things are already being compromised in society. The colonial masters saw that there is a big protest on the way. They decided to change the northern code to fit with the Islamic code, the Islamic code of conduct of penalizing zina and adultery, defilement, and every other crime. So they brought another law called the Criminal Procedure Code, and left the South to be using the Criminal Procedure Act that did not penalize adultery. So, historically, one of the cases that attests to it that fornication, adultery is allowed in the South is the Supreme Court case of Aruko and Fagbemi. The court said that a woman that was caught red-handed by her husband doing adultery should not be thrown into jail or should not be penalized in any way. The only thing that you can do is to divorce the woman. But to God who made us, is that the solution to our societal problem of adultery? Imagine a man marrying a wife with 4 children and detecting later that those children are not his because of the new advent of DNA tests and every other thing. Imagine that in society. So when we say all these crimes, Islam has already put an embargo on them through penalty. They say it's too rigid. No, it is not rigid. Because Allah said in the Quran that Inni a'lam wa antum la ta'lamun. That I know best. I know what is best for you, and you do not know. And that is why Islam is not saying that there will not be any case of fornication in the society, there will not be any case of adultery or defilement. But he's saying that put this sanction here, so that when anybody wants to commit it, the mind that is leading them, that is leading them to want to commit that act, will say, if I am caught, this is the price. That is why you see many people in the society, most especially Southerners, they will wear different kind of horrible dresses, all in the name of they are doing fashion. And it has caused a lot of catastrophe, a lot of destroyer of marriage. You know, many young people now, they always take time to marry. They not always take time to go for their marriage because they are being encouraged in the society to fornicate. And the lack of punishment for fornication. Personally, I would recommend that fornication should be punished by imprisonment term. Maybe some 6 months in prison, because it is an act that has caused the society to lose its moralistic value. So first of all, let's go to the Quranic verse that speaks on the prohibition of fornication. Allah said in the glorious Quran, He said, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الزِّنَا إِنَّهُ كَانَ فَاحِشَةً وَسَاءَ السَّبِيلِ. He said, and do not go near adultery. He did not say, don't commit it. He said, do not go near it. In fact, don't go near it at all. Talk less of committing the adultery, the act itself. Why have the colonial masters, one question to ask is that, why have the colonial masters decided to remove the punishment of adultery, fornication in the society, when even their Bible, in the book of Thessalonians 4, verse 3 to 7, talks about fornication as against the will of God? So why have they refused to put in punishment, to scare away? This punishment is not as if some will surely do the act and will not get caught. They will not get caught. That's why the Quran said that even if you are accusing someone, if you see somebody committing the act, you must get 4 persons that will witness it, that yes, this is it. They are doing it. Were you there? I was there. 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 And they must be trusted people. Not people that of dubious character in society. It was said that it is God's will that you should be sanctified, that you should avoid. I'm reading from Thessalonians 4, 3 to 7. That it is God's will that you should be sanctified, that you should avoid sexual immorality, that each of you should learn to control your own body in a way that is holy and honorable, not in passionate lust like the pagans who do not know God, and that in his matter no one should wrong or take advantage of a brother or sister. The Lord will punish all those who commit such sin. You can see, the Lord will do what? Will punish all those who commit such sin, as we told you before and warned you. So why don't we punish it in the society? The Lord will also punish murder. Won't he punish murder? Those people that kill their fellow human being. Lord will punish it. Then why are we punishing it in the society? So that those people that want to do it, next time they will prevent themselves, they will hold themselves from doing it. So, from the book Annals of Faith by Sheikh Idris Sali, he said concerning Islamic Sharia, Islamic law, he said Islamic Sharia is same and equal at all times. It's applied equally to eminent scholars, sons and daughters of rulers, or the rulers themselves, as it is applied to the poor and the lower class citizens. Any other judgment that contradicts that of equity as ordained by Allah in the Sharia is not accepted, and in the hereafter, Allah will record that judgment for amendment and appropriation. So, this Imam compared Islamic Sharia with man-made laws. He said, man-made laws are artificial. Lawmakers make laws that suit personal interest and follow their own ego. They can make laws and say, this is the amount of allowance we are collecting. Why other people are hungry? Those are the problems that they have imported into our society today. The laws favor their whims and caprices, making the leaders and the lawmakers above the law. So the rulers are now above the law. They do not want to follow the law. They don't want to do what God permits. They don't want to remove the iota of immorality from the law. They want to do what is in their own desire. They made themselves immune, and have reasons to go against the law, and at the same time go free, to the extent that no court of law can summon them for judgment. For example, presidents and governors in countries that operate man-made laws are always immune, and hence no one will call them to account for offenses they perpetrated against the nation or its citizens. Now let's go to the definition of the Arabic etymology of the word zina. Zina is coined from the Arabic word zana, which means to commit adultery, fornication, and what have you, sexual offenses. But the historical development of the word comes from zayyana, which means to beautify something. The Quran says, Allah says in the Holy Quran, He said, وَزَيَّنَ لَهُمُ الشَّيْطَانُ أَعْمَالُهُمْ وَسَوَّ لَهُمْ. He said that the Satan, the devil, has beautified their actions for them. He has made it beautiful. Even though they know the right thing, but they will not do the right thing because the devil has beautified them. The Quran said, الزاني والزانيات فاجلدوا كل واحد منهما مئة جلدة. The Quran is not it's not a book to make things harsh on us, but it's a book to guide us on how we are going to operate in society, so that the society will be good. Not everybody that commit. I'm going to read an hadith to us now that shows us, that testifies to us that, in fact, the persons that commit zina in society today, most of them, they have been ordained that they will commit it. Allah knows that it will happen, even if Islamic law is not present or any other law is not present, they will commit it. But because they want us to restrain from it as much as we can, that is why he said that in the glorious Quran, the Quran said, 100 strokes of cane. It's not being harsh. It wants us to stay away from it. Now, from the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu it is said that now Abi Hurairah radiyallahu anhu أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, that it is narrated by Abu Hurairah, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, that the Prophet, may the peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said, كتب الله على ابن آدم as hizatun min az-zina, that Allah has destined that every man will commit zina. How do I mean? أزرقه ذلك لا بد وزينته العين, that part of the zina they will commit, part of it will be the zina of the eyes. What is the zina of the eyes? Looking at things. It can be either intentional or not intentional. Society we are today, there's no how you see it. It's beside you, in front of you, at your back, on your head, beneath you. It's everywhere. Bad things, you will see it. Is it in the media, the newspaper, the television, everything? You can see them. Then the Prophet continually said, An-nazar wazinatu sama. You will hear things that are related to zina. Is it the music that we hear for today? Is it things that we see, that we hear from people, our own selves? Is it the way you will hear it from the society? Wazinatul lisan. Is it the things that we hear people say? People will just see someone say rubbish. You just look at him because he wants to trend on social media. Wazinatul yadi. Is it the things that people do with their hands? Is it the things? Wazinatul rijl. Is it the places people go to in order to commit zina? The hotels, the brothels, the beer parlors, everything. He said, there is no how. You will see these things. You will see it. You will hear. If you not hear, you will commit one. So Allah knows that we will do it. We will commit these sins. But He's giving us these laws as His own guidance, so that the society will become peaceful. So that the society will be able to thrive. There will be growth in the society. There will be peace. And that is the purpose of Islam. And what Allah is giving us. وَالْقَلْبِ يَهْوِي وَيَثْمَنُ وَالْفَوْجِ يُصَدِّقُ. He said, and the mind always wants. The mind is full of desire. He always wants to engage in all this pleasure. Is it singing all these obscene things, or listening to all this bad music? The mind wants it. But the person that will be saved is the person who takes away these desires from himself. The scholar said, Inna lihawa lahu al-hawa bi'aynihi wa sari'u kulul hawa sari'ul awani. That verily the mind always craves for anything that is pleasurable, and most of the things that are pleasurable we find in them sins, but the mind wants it. Wa sari'u kulul hawa. After the mind have done it, if it is bad, the mind starts to blame itself. Why have I done this? This thing is not good. Wasori'u kulul awa, sori'u awa. What follows it is self-humiliation. If it is not self-humiliation, people who are seeing you, who are judging you, they will start to humiliate the person. Another scholar said, Ya dunya أقال من القليل وأعشقها this life, and those people who desire to always enjoy the pleasures of this life. Life has blinded them from seeing the truth. It has made them deaf from hearing the words of Allah, His guidance, His laws, from abiding to it. They want to do their own. وَهُمْ مُتَعَيِّرُونَ بِلَا دَلِيلٍ وَهُمْ مُتَعَيِّرُونَ بِلَا دَلِيلٍ. What is their aftermath? The aftermath is that they will be confused. Things will not be okay with the society that they live in. There will be problem. Protest today, protest tomorrow. There will be a lot of catastrophe. The homes will not be peaceful. The husbands, they will not be faithful. The wives, they will not be faithful to their husband. There will be lack of respect in society because of all these atrocities that are happening. We cannot treat this topic without delving into the fact that, when they say the legality of marriage, it also affects adultery, fornication. You see, in Islam recognizes anything marriage. But Islam does not want fornication and adultery because it sees it as a plain error, something that causes havoc in society. First off, before I continue, let me quickly recite a poem from Mcan. Mcan said, that the night is when most of this bad action happens. In the night, everywhere would be very dark. People committing it, they don't commit it. The meaning of that verse or that point means that people committing zina, they will never want to commit it where people will see them. They will always go indoor, because it's what is a shameful act. Like we said, this verse is saying that they always crave darkness so that nobody will be able to. Imam, pastor, why are you doing deliverance for your members in hotels? Imam, why are you drawing what they call this thing? Incision mark for your followers? Why are you drawing for them on their laps? For the women there. Why? You have a tariqa. Does that mean you will now negate the limits of Allah and start doing all these vices in society? Senator, why? Commissioner, why? Officer, they said one commissioner, he was with a woman, someone's wife, uncompleted age. I was, Islam police. I'm not allowed to talk much on that door because they've not gone to court, or maybe they are the person. Islam police standing, they caught the man. They said, they see them. Why must you be with somebody in such a? But what can warrant that? What do you want to give to the woman that you cannot give? Okay. وتسكر عيون الناظرين في ظلام الليل مخجل. Why are you hiding from the eyes of people, from prying eyes, so that they will not see you? Why? If you know what you are doing, is something what to be celebrated. Why? Why are you listening to the pleasure of your mind? Why? So we are going back to where we started from in terms of the validity of marriage before we deviated into the poem of Mcan. So Islam counts marriage, all forms of marriage. Islam counts it as acceptable. Because Allah said in the Quran, He said, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْقِلُونَ. He said, that we are the ones that created a man and his wife and put love in between them. But you see, when the love starts to fade away, the man starts looking for what a illegal means to satisfy that love. You see, when the love starts to fade away in the family, that is when the devil is able to beautify these things to both the man and the woman. The woman starts looking for other means to satisfy herself. One of the core things, we have settled a lot of cases. Domestic violence, is it lack of proper care for the wife, the men? I'm talking to me. Very soon, many of us will start, marrying, and everything. It's not easy. All of us, not even some of us. The women, the Alajas, very soon we will be going to our respective husbands' house. Please, one thing you should never make lack. We should not make to lack in the family is love. You see, when there is love, even devil will not be able to put asunder in that marriage, in that union. Talk less of an ordinary man. When you overlook, and when you quickly do what? When you quickly bring people that we deliberate, maybe there's a problem in the marriage, you quickly look for solution. Don't keep it, don't hide it, speak out. There are people that join you together. That is why you should always go to people that you know that yes, when there is anything, these people, they are the one that join us together in this marriage union. They will be able to settle this matter. Don't be someone that rush into marriage. If you rush into marriage, you rush out. It is not a child's play. It requires a lot of patience. So, the Quran said, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والصابئين من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر وعمل صالحا فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. The Quran says, Allah said in the Quran that verily those people who believe in one God, He said one God, not a Trinity or one God. He said among the Christians, which means that there have been Christians before that believe just in one God, and Allah has accepted their religion. Those that joined the prophets then during their time, and the people, the mu'min, the Muslimin, that followed the path of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, accepting that which other prophet has brought to earth. they accept it because they followed one God. Although their ways is called Christianity, but it is not this modern day Christianity, where we now have the New Testament, the Old Testament. We don't even know which one is which. وَالَّذِينَ هَادُوا, even the Jews of the time of Moses that followed one God. Because till today, if you look at the scripture of the Jews, if you look at their religion till today, they believe in one God. They don't believe in Trinity. They believe that God is one. But they mistake the name of God and they do not call him the way Muslims do. But they believe in one God. وَالَّذِينَ مَنْ آمَنَ بِاللَّهِ فَلَا خَوْفٌ عَلَيْهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا, and do good. If you believe in Allah, whether Christian, Muslim, Jews, and you do good, there is no fear from you. You surely enter paradise. Why have we brought this surah? We have brought this surah in order to attest, to relate it with another verse of the Quran, where Allah said that, verily, وَلَوْ تَجِدْ خَاتِمٌ فَرِهَانٌ مَقْبُولٌ, that if you are entering into an agreement, if you are entering into a contract, you should find a scribe. What is the meaning of a scribe? A scribe is someone who will take down the agreement and say, this is what we have, this is what we have. This is in Surah Al-Baqarah. I can't when I remember the full verse, I would bring it out. What is the similarity of that ayah with marriage? Marriage is a contract between a man and a woman, which means that whenever you are going into marriage, one thing must be certain. There must be a written agreement, and then there will be witnesses. People that will witness the marriage, that okay, this is the marriage between the man and the woman. And the Prophet said, Tinka ul mar'atu li jamaliha wa maliha wa diniha wa ahsabiha fa alayka bizati din. That marry women li jamaliha, because of their beauty, wa maliha, because she's hardworking, wa diniha, marry her because she is religious. Don't marry someone that you are seeing that if I marry this person, she will not allow me to serve God, because she will not allow me to have patience, or he will not allow me to have patience to not want to go elsewhere and look for other things that I'm not supposed to look for. Wadinia, fa'alayka bizati din. The Prophet said, but know that the surest thing is when you marry someone who has the fear of God and the din. Because if you marry the person with fear of God, and she will not neglect you when she sees money. She will not neglect you when she sees other things, other plans of the devil to lure her into other kind of forms of atrocities. Fa'alika bizati din. You will be at rest. Your mind will be at rest, and you will even be able to trust your wife. Alika bizati din. I saw ibati din. The Prophet said that, look well, there are ways to pride. You can ask from people, you can ask from friends, know the level of our understanding in the religion of Islam. That is what the Prophet said concerning the fact that you need to get married to those women that are chaste women. Another thing that we should look at is the story of Nabiyina Yusuf alayhi salatu wassalam. This story is a popular story in the sense that he was thrown to jail because he refused to satisfy his mistress, Zuleika. She called him, said, she come and have sexual immorality with her, but he refused. He said, and the Quran said, وَقَالَ رَبِّكِ فَعَلَيْهِنَا إِنَّهُمَّا يُصَدَّ عَنْهَا إِنَّ رَبِّي عَلِيمٌ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. The Quran said that he wanted to commit that sin. He wanted to. Now let's imagine in the history of that story, if we look at the story very well, imagine he had committed it. They said he was about to go out from the room, the 10th door of his mistress, refusing. She tore his clothes from the back. Then the master was already coming to the bedroom. Imagine if he had gotten into the bedroom and saw them in the act. What would have happened? His dream would have been spoiled. Allah said, first of all, we made Yusuf to be able to resist because we wanted him to fulfill his destiny. If we did not want him to fulfill his destiny, he wouldn't have resisted it. We are the ones who gave him the capacity to resist it. To show you that this life is fitna. Allah purposely made it fitna. Front, back, center, forward, backward. But Prophet Yusuf said that it is better for me to be in prison than to commit this kind of atrocity. Because if I commit this atrocity, I have seen it that it will reduce my spirituality and it will make me one of the losers. So that is the story of Prophet Yusuf. فَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ عَلِمٌ مُتَمَازِقٌ وَأَكْبَرُ مِنْهُ جَاهِلٌ مُتَمَازِقٌ وَمَا فِتْنَةٌ فِي الْعَالَمِينَ عَزِيمَةٌ لِمَنْ بِهِمَا فِي الدِّينِ يَتَمَسَّكُ. A scholar said that فَسَادٌ كَبِيرٌ, verily, someone who is a loser, alimun, is the one that God made see that this kind of behavior is not acceptable. But he still proceed to commit that atrocity, that sin. According to the prophet, an hadith of the prophet, I cannot remember the hadith now because a lot is on my head. It says that once you commit such kind of act, a black spot will be placed on your heart. A black spot will be placed on your heart. But when you repent, if you commit it 10 times, it's only a black spot that will be placed on your heart. Which means Allah has not said if you commit it, there will not be forgiveness. That's why Islam is one of the best religion. So there is the Quran, the ayah of the Quran that says that one of the ways that we can use to, one of the ways that we can use to, restrain ourselves from committing all these sins, from doing all these acts, is number one, lowering the gaze. Allah said in the glorious Quran, وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ وَلَا يَبْدُونَ زِينَتَهُنَّ إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَلَا يَضْرِبْنَ بِخِمَارِهِنَّ ولا جيوبهن ولا يبدون زينتهن إلا لبعولتهن أو آبائهن أو آباء بعولتهن أو أبنائهن أو أبناء بعولتهن أو إخوانهم أو بني إخوانهم أو بني أخواتهم. The Quran said, tell the believing women and tell the believing men to lower their gaze. And tell the believing women to cover their chest, to cover their body from any other prying eyes except that of their husbands. And tell them that they have some muharrams. Then he listed the muharrams, they are about 7. He said their husband's brother, the son of their husbands, their brothers, and what have you. You see, this is one of the ways at which zina can be, we can restrain ourselves from zina in society today. And that's why I said that introducing punishments, even if it is 6 months, it will reduce the immorality we have in society today. What is the cause of prostitution in society? Is it not hardship? Is it not economic hardship? What's the cause of adultery? It's part of economic hardship. So you can see clearly that the devil has set us up to these things. As a believer, if you want to make use of your time, your deen, get married. Prevent yourself from vain things such as this. So among the remedy is always praying to Allah, because I swear there is nobody that is not capable of committing sin at any time. There is no saint except he who Allah has favored. By always remembering Jannah, remembering that Jannah is the goal, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you have a creed to uphold, you have a virtue to live by. With that, you'll be able to restrain yourself. Remembering Jannah, where Allah said, يَطُوفُ عَلَيْهِمْ وِلْدَانٌ مُقَلَّدُونَ بِأَبَارِقَ وَكَأْسٍ مِّن مَّعِينٍ. يَطُوفُ عَلَيْهِمْ وِلْدَانٌ مُقَلَّدُونَ. That you will have children in Jannah scattered like shining pearls. بِأَبَارِقَ, with cups of gold and honey. وَكَأْسٍ مِّن مَّعِينٍ, cups of pearls scattered. Once you are remembering this, in fact, I swear, you would want to abstain. There are some people that are married, still yet, they engage in this habits. Some people they will be in a relationship for 10 years, they will not marry the person they are dating. We keep on scoring goals. Keep on scoring goals. Some people, they don't even do marry. If the goal has entered, it has entered, they will start looking for ways to abort. They will start looking for ways to do abortion. And mind you, in Islam, if someone has pregnancy, it's not permitted that during the month of that pregnancy, you now quickly wed the person. You must put to bed first. For you. But I'm surprised many of the scholars today, some of them, not many, let me not say use that word many, because many of the scholars have also negated it, which I have read and heard about. But some of the scholars, surprising, they will still do that marriage between a pregnant woman, an already pregnant woman, and the man. What are you looking at? Why don't you carry the horse first before the cat? Why are you bringing the cat before the horse? If you want to do Islam, Allah said, "Udkhulu fi silmi kafa wa la tattabi'u khutuwati shaytan. Innahu lakum aduwwun mubin." Udkhulu fi silmi kafa. Enter the religion of Allah in full. Don't do half and leave it for half. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ. Don't follow the ways of the unbelievers, the non-believers, that they just do things without protocol. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا. If you do things without protocol now, your mind will get accustomed to it, to the point that before you will be able to stop, it will not be easy for you. Enter into the religion of Allah in full. Don't follow the ways of the devil. Innahu lakum aduwwun mubin. Verily, it is for you all a plain enemy. One of the things also to restrain yourself from this illicit habit is limiting your listening to music. A scholar said that fil qasida hikmah, that there is wisdom in music. You can see, since I started this lecture, I've been bringing some qasida, some Islamic songs, some Islamic rhymes. Because scholars agree that there's nothing wrong in a wise, lesson teaching song. But what do we have? What kind of song do we have in society today? Mr. Money Lolly, all those songs. I normally hear some song, I'll be like, why? And this is what people are paying. They are paying so much money to go and look at it. Do they not see that it is not normal? Is it normal? Most of these songs, when they are singing, when they are dancing, does it not show immorality? It portrays so many immorality in society today, being promoted by musical displays, by arts, being promoted by laws. They have changed us in the laws to the point that the laws are not able to regulate what is supposed to regulate, but it has freed people's mind to do whatever they want. Musical displays. Before you blow, you must do all these things. So that, and these musicians too, they are after their pockets. They don't care. They don't care about how the society becomes, what happens to the society after these displays. I'll be giving 5 minutes left. So during the time of, we'll go to the story of Jesus, story of Prophet Musa, alayhi salatu wassalam. Before we go into that, let's highlight the importance of marriages in society. One of the importance of marriage that we have in society is child upbringing. Do you know that marriage is a social contract to make the society full of good offsprings? When you are entering into a marriage, you are giving the society an announcement. That's why there is celebration of marriage. You have to celebrate to let people know that yes, this marriage is occurring between you and your partner. Because as you are giving people this announcement, you are also entering into the contract that you want to produce offspring that will be beneficial to the success of the society rather than the opposite. But one of the things that have, eroded equity, fairness, justice in society is what we have said earlier, the lack of penalties. And it has caused many things to be happening. Even in our institutions, you will see adults defiling young children less than the age of 14. You will see in the institutions lecturers doing search for grades. It's trended on precedent. If you follow the news around that time, you will see a lot of things is wrong with our society, affected by this act. You will see gender inequality in employment, whereby they say you have to produce something, you have to sleep with the man before he gives you employment. All these things is because we have allowed, where we are supposed to focus our laws, our attention on, we have allowed us to be robbed of the instruments that we are supposed to use to curtail all these habits in society. Also, we have bad environment, bad influence of friends, pornography. All these things are things that have caused the promotion of all these habits in society today. We also have alcoholism in society today. One of the things that causes the promotion of all sexual illicit behaviors in society is because some people abuse drugs and alcohol. And anytime, there's even one that they say that if you take that drug, as a man, it will increase your drive. Your drive, your sexual drive. You understand what I mean? It will increase. I've forgotten what they call it. I think money or something. They said it will. All these things, please, as a Muslim, you have to abstain from them. And the Prophet said in his hadith, he said, "Money that will buy, if you have the capacity, get married immediately. What are you waiting for? Because if you are a strong man, if you are an able-bodied man, you have the capacity, there is money with you, you know you are strong, you can do all these things, but you refuse to do it. The devil will take turn. He will take his toll on you. He will command you to that which is bad. He will tell you, this house that you have as big as this, don't you wait to bring a woman in. And a woman will follow him. That's why the Prophet said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, "Man inda ulba, falyatazawwaj." We pray that with this lecture that we have given to ourselves, Allah continues to put His understanding, His barakah, His rahmah, hidayah upon us, and allow us to be among those that we enter into His paradise as pious ones on the day of accountability. أقول قول هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
التكبير.
الله أكبر.
We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward our guest lecturer abundantly. May Allah